Yes, the disconnect switch requires a fuse. The minimum fuse size required is determined by the total current draw of the loads, which are the pumps in this case, and the allowable overcurrent protection in accordance with the National Electrical Code, or NEC. NEC Article 430.52 states that the overcurrent protection for motor circuit shall not exceed the following percentage of the motor full load current rating, specifically 125% for continuous duty motors, that is, motors rated for operation at 100% of their rated load indefinitely. In this scenario, there are two 10 horsepower pumps at 30 amps each. The total current draw is calculated as 30 amps times 2, which equals 60 amps. Given that the pumps are continuous duty motors, the maximum allowable overcurrent protection, encompassing both the breaker and the fuse, is 60 amps times 1.25, resulting in 75 amps. Considering the fuse selection, the fuse size should be the next standard size up from the calculated maximum allowable overcurrent protection of 75 amps. Therefore, a 100 amp fuse is appropriate for this application. Regarding the type of fuse, the type used should be appropriate for the application. Given that this is a commercial installation, a class RK5 or J fuse is recommended for motor circuits. Considering the disconnect switch rating, the disconnect switch must be rated for the total current draw of the loads and the fuse rating. Since the total current draw is 60 amps and the fuse size is 100 amps, the disconnect switch must be rated for 100 amps continuous use. Therefore, it's essential to select a fuse size and disconnect switch that meets or exceeds these requirements to ensure safe and reliable operation of the pumps. Selecting the right fuse and disconnect switch requires a detailed understanding of the National Electrical Code or NEC, specifically Article 430, which deals with motors, motor circuits, and controllers. The NEC provides guidelines for overcurrent protection to prevent damage to the motor and associated wiring due to excessive current flow. The fuse acts as a sacrificial device, interrupting the circuit when the current exceeds a predetermined level. This prevents overheating and potential fire hazards. The type of fuse is also crucial. Class RK5 and J fuses are time delay fuses, meaning they can withstand temporary overloads such as those that occur during motor starting without tripping. This is important because motors draw significantly higher current during startup and during normal operation. Using a fast-acting fuse could result in nuisance tripping, interrupting the circuit unnecessarily. The disconnect switch serves as a means to safely isolate the motor circuit for maintenance or repair. It must be rated to handle the full load current of the motor, as well as the interrupting current of the fuse. This ensures that the switch can safely disconnect the circuit under both normal and fault conditions. In this particular scenario, the total current draw of the two 10 horsepower pumps is 60 amps. The NEC allows for overcurrent protection up to 125% of the motor's full load current for continuous duty motors. This allows for the motor's starting current, which can be several times the full load current. Calculating 125% of 60 amps results in 75 amps. However, standard fuse sizes are not available in 75 amps, so the next standard size up, which is 100 amps, is selected. This provides adequate overcurrent protection while still allowing for the motor's starting current. The disconnect switch must be rated for at least 100 amps to match the fuse size. This ensures that the switch can safely interrupt the circuit if the fuse blows. In addition to the fuse size and type, it's also important to consider the voltage rating of the fuse and disconnect switch. The voltage rating must be equal to or greater than the voltage of the circuit. In a three-phase circuit, the voltage is typically 208, 240, or 480 volts. It's also important to ensure that the fuse and disconnect switch are properly installed and maintained. Fuses should be inspected regularly for signs of damage or corrosion. The disconnect switch should be operated periodically to ensure that it functions properly. Proper grounding is also essential for electrical safety. The motor, disconnect switch, and associated wiring should be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards. Grounding provides a low-resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, causing the overcurrent protection device to trip and de-energize the circuit. In summary, when connecting two 10 horsepower pumps to a single three-phase circuit, it's essential to follow the guidelines outlined in the National Electrical Code. This includes selecting the appropriate fuse size and type, as well as ensuring that the disconnect switch is properly rated and installed. By following these guidelines, you can ensure the safe and reliable operation of the pumps and prevent potential electrical hazards. Furthermore, the location of the installation can influence specific requirements. Local electrical codes and regulations may have additional requirements beyond the NEC. It's always best to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Factors such as ambient temperature, altitude, and the presence of corrosive substances can also affect the selection of electrical equipment. For example, in high-temperature environments, the current carrying capacity of conductors may need to be derated. At high altitudes, the dielectric strength of air is reduced, which can affect the voltage rating of electrical equipment. In corrosive environments, special materials and enclosures may be required to protect electrical equipment from damage. When selecting a disconnect switch, it's important to consider the type of enclosure. Enclosures are rated based on their ability to protect the enclosed equipment from environmental conditions. For example, an M3R enclosure is designed to protect against rain, sleet, and snow, while an M4X enclosure is designed to protect against corrosion. The choice of enclosure will depend on the specific environmental conditions at the installation site. Additionally, the NEC requires that the disconnect switch be readily accessible. This means that it must be located in a place where it can be easily reached in case of an emergency. The disconnect switch should also be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. Proper labeling helps to prevent accidental operation of the wrong switch. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the continued safe and reliable operation of the electrical system. This includes inspecting fuses, testing disconnect switches, and checking for loose connections. A qualified electrician should perform regular inspections and maintenance to identify and correct any potential problems. Neglecting maintenance can lead to equipment failure, electrical hazards, and costly repairs. When working with electrical equipment, it's important to follow all safety precautions. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Always to energize the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is energized. Never work on electrical equipment while standing in water or on a wet surface. Be aware of the potential hazards of electricity and take steps to protect yourself and others. If you are not qualified to work on electrical equipment, hire a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to have the knowledge and skills necessary to do the job safely. In addition to the technical aspects of fuse sizing and disconnect switch selection, it's also important to consider the economic factors. Selecting the right equipment can help to reduce energy consumption and operating costs. For example, using energy-efficient motors can significantly reduce the amount of electricity used by the pumps. Proper maintenance can also help to extend the life of the equipment and prevent costly breakdowns. A comprehensive approach to electrical system design and maintenance can result in significant cost savings over the life of the equipment. It's also important to stay up to date on the latest changes to the National Electrical Code. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. Staying informed about these changes can help to ensure that your electrical system complies with the latest safety standards. There are many resources available to help you stay informed about the NEC, including publications, training courses, and online resources. Consulting with a qualified electrician is also a good way to stay up to date in the latest code requirements. In conclusion, connecting two 10 horsepower pumps to a single three-phase circuit requires careful consideration of fuse sizing, disconnect switch selection, and compliance with the National Electrical Code. By following the guidelines outlined in the NEC and consulting with a qualified electrician, you can ensure the safe and reliable operation of the pumps and prevent potential electrical hazards. Remember to consider the specific environmental conditions at the installation site as well as the economic factors when selecting electrical equipment. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the continued safe and reliable operation of the electrical system. And always follow all safety precautions when working with electrical equipment. By taking a comprehensive approach to electrical system design, installation, and maintenance, you can ensure a safe, reliable, and cost-effective system for years to come. Furthermore, understanding the specific characteristics of the pumps themselves is crucial. The pump's motor full load amps, or FLA, is a critical parameter. This value, usually found on the motor's nameplate, represents the current the motor draws when operating at its rated horsepower and voltage under full load conditions. It is this FLA value that is used in NEC calculations for determining conductor size, overcurrent protection, and disconnect switch ratings. The NEC provides tables that list typical FLA values for motors based on their horsepower and voltage. However, it is always best to use the actual FLA value from the motor's nameplate if it is available. This will ensure that the calculations are accurate and that the electrical system is properly sized for the specific pumps being used. In addition to the FLA, the motor's service factor is another important characteristic to consider. The service factor is a multiplier that indicates the amount of overload the motor can handle for short periods of time. For example, a motor with a service factor of 1.15 can handle 115% of its rated horsepower for short periods without overheating. The service factor is important to consider when selecting overcurrent protection for the motor. If the motor is expected to operate frequently under overload conditions, it may be necessary to select a larger overcurrent protection device to prevent nuisance tripping. However, it is important to note that the overcurrent protection device should never exceed the maximum value allowed by the NEC. The motor's insulation class is another important characteristic to consider. The insulation class indicates the maximum temperature that the motor's insulation can withstand without degrading. Motors are typically classified as Class A, Class B, Class F, or Class H, with Class H being the highest temperature rating. The insulation class is important to consider when selecting motors for high-temperature environments. It is also important to consider the motor's enclosure type. The enclosure type indicates the level of protection that the motor provides against environmental conditions. Motors are typically classified as open drip-proof, totally enclosed, fan-cooled, or explosion-proof. The choice of enclosure type will depend on the specific environmental conditions at the installation site. For example, an open drip-proof motor is suitable for indoor environments where it is protected from moisture and dust. A totally enclosed fan-cooled motor is suitable for outdoor environments where it is exposed to moisture and dust. An explosion-proof motor is required for hazardous locations where there is a risk of explosion. When selecting a disconnect switch, it is important to consider the switch's horsepower rating. The horsepower rating indicates the maximum horsepower that the switch can safely disconnect. The disconnect switch should have a horsepower rating that is equal to or greater than the horsepower of the motor. It is also important to consider the switch's interrupting rating. The interrupting rating indicates the maximum current that the switch can safely interrupt. The disconnect switch should have an interrupting rating that is equal to or greater than the available fault current at the installation site. The available fault current is the maximum current that could flow in the event of a short circuit. It is typically determined by the utility company. In addition to the fuse and disconnect switch, it is also important to consider the size of the conductors that are used to connect the pumps to the electrical system. The conductors must be sized to carry the full load current of the pumps, as well as any applicable derating factors. The NEC provides tables that list the allowable ampacity of conductors based on their size, insulation type, and installation method. It is important to consult these tables to ensure that the conductors are properly sized. It is also important to consider the voltage drop in the conductors. Voltage drop is the reduction in voltage that occurs as current flows through a conductor. Excessive voltage drop can cause the motor to operate inefficiently and can even damage the motor. The NEC recommends that the voltage drop in the conductor should not exceed 3%. In summary, connecting two 10 horsepower pumps to a single three-phase circuit requires a thorough understanding of the National Electrical Code, as well as the specific characteristics of the pumps themselves. By following the guidelines outlined in the NEC and consulting with a qualified electrician, you can ensure the safe, reliable, and efficient operation of the pumps. The correct fuse size and type are important to protect the motors from overcurrent conditions, as are the conductor size, which is also a critical component in the overall safety and performance of the electrical system. Undersized conductors can overheat, leading to insulation breakdown and potential fire hazards. Oversized conductors, while safer, can be more expensive and difficult to install. The NEC provides guidelines for determining the appropriate conductor size based on the motor's full load current, the ambient temperature, and a number of conductors in a raceway or cable. Directing factors may be required to reduce the allowable ampacity of the conductors if they are installed in high-temperature environments or if there are multiple conductors in a raceway or cable. The type of insulation used on the conductors is also important. Different insulation types have different temperature ratings and are suitable for different applications. The NEC specifies the allowable insulation types for various applications. The installation method is also important to consider. The way in which the conductors are installed can affect their ampacity. For example, conductors that are installed in free air have a higher ampacity than conductors that are installed in a conduit. The NEC provides guidelines for determining the allowable ampacity of conductors based on their installation method. In addition to conductor size, it is also important to consider the type of raceway or cable that is used to protect the conductors. A raceway is an enclosed channel that is designed to hold and protect conductors. Common types of raceways include conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and cable trays. A cable is an assembly of conductors that are insulated and enclosed in a protective sheath. Common types of cables include non-metallic sheath cable, armored cable, and metal-clad cable. The type of raceway or cable that is used will depend on the specific application and the environmental conditions at the installation site. The raceway or cable must be sized to accommodate the conductors that are being installed. The NEC provides guidelines for determining the appropriate size of raceways and cables. Grounding is another critical aspect of electrical safety. Grounding provides a low-resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, causing the overcurrent protection device to trip and energize the circuit. This prevents electrical shock hazards and minimizes the risk of fire. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment be properly grounded. This includes the motor, the disconnect switch, and the raceway or cable. Grounding is typically accomplished by connecting the equipment to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. The grounding electrode must be properly sized and installed to ensure that it can effectively carry fault current. In addition to equipment grounding, it is also important to provide a grounding conductor within the raceway or cable. The grounding conductor is used to connect the equipment to the grounding electrode. The grounding conductor must be sized according to the NEC guidelines. Surge protection is another important consideration, especially in areas that are prone to lightning strikes or power surges. Surge protection devices, OSBDs, are designed to protect electrical equipment from voltage surges. Voltage surges can damage or destroy sensitive electronic equipment. SPD are typically installed at the service entrance and at individual pieces of equipment. The NEC provides guidelines for the installation of SPD. Finally, it is important to remember that electrical work can be dangerous. Always follow all safety precautions when working with electrical equipment. If you are not qualified to work on electrical equipment, hire a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to have the knowledge and skills necessary to do the job safely.